Celtics, Ray Williams, who has done such an outstanding job coming off the bench, averaging 12 points a game. M.L. Carr, who has a sore left knee, has not seen action in the first 2 ball games. You see Quinn Buckner was introduced, the former Milwaukee Buck. Carlos Clark and Maxwell is out there now. Maxwell having difficulty with his knee problem. Greg Kite, who has not seen much duty here in the playoffs. Now the starting lineups for the Boston Celtics. Kevin McHale, who has done such an outstanding job, of course, the 6th man of the year last year. He's done a yeoman's duty in the starting role, over 25 points a game. The man filling in for the injured Larry Bird, Scott Wedman. The center, the chief, Robert Parrish, who a lot of people felt disappeared in game 1, but he did get into foul trouble, but came back strong in game number 2. Dennis Johnson, former MVP in the playoff series, went with the Seattle Supersonics, and Danny Ainge, his tough backcourt running mate. And now, wait to hear the hand here for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Head coach Casey Jones.
Listening to the well-used places trainers to do tonight, I can tell you that.
A much-deserved hand for these Cleveland Cavaliers, who are sort of like the lotus. Out of the mud grows the lotus, and that's what's happened to the Cavaliers. Starting off 2-19, they made it to the playoffs and have pushed the Celtics right to the limit. Ronnie Shelton, who has played well in his role off the bench. In fact, the bench for the Cavaliers has done a lot of good work for the Cavaliers, outscoring the Celtics. Kevin Williams also on the bench, coming off the bench. Johnny Davis, who has played beautifully, shooting almost 75% off the bench. Ron Anderson. Edgar Jones, former star. Ben Coquette, who has played admirably off the bench in his role. And Mel Turpin, the first-round draft choice. And the starting lineup for George Karl. Bill Hubbard, who's been nursing a sore knee, but he's not about to miss his first opportunity in the playoffs, the first in his 30 years as a pro. Roy Hinton, who's been so impressive with his inside moves and strength going to the basket through that big, towering front line of the Celtics. Mark West, who has not scored a lot of points, but is battling on the board. John Bagley from D.C. up in the Boston Celtics territory. And his running mate, World B3. Head coach, George Karl. Bill, I think we must point out that World B3 is playing maybe at 75% of his full efficiency. He has a very badly pulled groin muscle, and it's been affecting his shooting. He's only shooting about 38-39% in the series, but yet he's not about to miss it. And I think if he was healthy, it could have been a different story in games 1 and 2.
Well, you know, injuries to all the teams involved in the playoffs can become important. Now, where Will be is hurt is on his shooting and on his defense. Because when you have especially a hamstring pull, you can very rarely are you able to use that leg to push up. So you're almost like a one-legged or only one-legged defense.
See the official, that's Tommy Nunez. The first man you saw throwing the ball off was Jeff Kersey. And of course they have an alternate here, sitting on the bench in the event that someone were to get injured in the line of duty. They have a fill-in, Jimmy Rogers and Casey Jones looking on and anxiously awaiting to see how the Celtics will perform with Larry Bird back at the hotel with that sore right elbow.
Now I expect the Cavaliers to get off to a good start, because they're ready to play.
Well, both games they played tough, fell behind, came back to take the lead, only to see the Celtics with their great experience come on at the end to win both ball games.
Well, I think...
And quickly a foul inside on Hinton.
Yeah, defenses, because they're hopped up, and they'll settle down. I think that the Celtics, in order to win tonight, will have to get the scoring slack will be picked up in the backcourt, not the front court.
Well, of course, the Cavs' strategy was to drop off into the middle and give the Celtics the outside shot, but they don't want to give them the shot on the side. They want them to shoot from the top of the key. They feel they were hurt when they rotated too much and left the sides open. Dennis Johnson, who has not been shooting well, he said that he likes to shoot at the 40% mark. They got a foul inside on that rebound. seconds of this third of best-of-5 series.
I think the biggest understatement that we can make, and almost redundant thing we can say, is that both teams are nervous.
Hinton can't get the offensive glass down, and we've got a foul spotted again inside. This time it's going to be Scott Wedman, I believe. Let me see. Yes. Well, it looked like Hubbard had lost his balance, was falling down, and Scott was called for the foul prior to that. Danny Ainge popped right in the jaw by Free. Inside, battling is West. They call catching his own pass. That's traveling. Yeah. Danny Ainge got hit right in the jaw by World B. Free. It was accidental, and Ainge is okay.
Let's take another look at that.
Boom, with the right elbow. Ouch. Oh, he almost went down to the counter, looked like, but he managed to keep those wobbly knees.
Good shot by Kevin McHale. World B. Free got there just a little late on that double team.
Kevin McHale, first 2 points of the ball game. That was the same shot he hit to give that 3-point lead in game number 1. Free on the penetration. Dennis Johnson picks up the first foul, and the officials go calling it extremely close.
Well, you have to do that in a game like this when the emotions are high and both teams are nervous. And you got to make sure you don't get into a pushing match because you can't control it later on.
World B. Free ties it at 2. Inside, look at the West battling inside with McHale. That's going to be a foul on West. Very obvious pushing that time on West.
Now, both these teams are manhandling each other inside, and the referees are calling this early. Now, here's a little push here. They call it early, and the guys will back off. Because the alternative is you don't call it, and pretty soon you almost got to fight, especially in a game like this.
Right, and also the players will back off because no one wants to foul out and spend time on the bench or get into foul difficulty and be on the bench. So they'll adjust to the officials. And the officials right now calling it very close. We've got an offensive foul being called on Robert Parrish, pushing off. So both teams, let me see, 2 team fouls against the Celtics and 3 team fouls already against the Cleveland Cavaliers. No, 3 against the Celtics and 2 against the Cavs. Excuse me, it's got it reversed.
And the biggest play so far has been made by the officials.
Hinton over. He was so impressive in game number 1. Look again, battling inside, McHale and West.
Kevin McHale, here comes the team with fast break.
He's got 4, 6-2. The Cavs, 22nd timeout by Casey Jones.
Now, what Casey has to make sure is that with the Cavaliers riding high emotionally, don't let them get a 10 or 12-point lead. If you have to call 4 timeouts, because if they get going, and then it could be they could be 25 points behind at halftime.
But you have to remember one thing also. Without Larry Bird in the game, if you look at the first round stats, it is going to take the Celtics a little while to adjust to having a different player in the game because, as everybody pointed out, Bill, Bird does so many things when he has the ball to help make his teammates better, and when he's not there, they have to start to do a little bit more for themselves.
Right, and so it's going to take some time to adjust. Now, what they've done so far, they've been pretty static in that they try to go inside exclusively. They're going to have to make some outside shots. Dennis Johnson and Danny Ainge are going to have to hit some of those outside shots, or Scott Wedman.
McHale gets the offensive rebound, and we have another foul inside. It'll be on West. 2 fouls on West. Both teams with 3 team fouls.
Now they're going to have to be careful with West is not getting foul trouble because that's 2 fouls already. That's not.
Robert Parrish can't get it to drop. Ainge to McHale. That's 3. It's a 5-on-2 break. Hubbard. That's Hinton. Hinton with 4. The Cavs lead by 6. 8:50 to go in the first quarter. Knocked away by Free. Bad pass.
This This is a shot they got to make.
Wide.
So far.
Three was wide open down the court, but West didn't see him. And another bad pass on the part of the Cavaliers. They've got the ball back the last two times and turned it over.
That's strictly emotion, the reason they're throwing away. They're so tough for this one. And it's understandable, too.
Cleveland has scored 8-0 after the Celtics scored the first 2 points of the game. Scotty Wedman. First two for Scott, 8-4 Cavs, and we apologize for some of the audio difficulties that we are having. We are working on them to try to get them corrected for you. That's Bagley. McHale. 3-on-1. Dennis Johnson finishes it off.
Well run pass break there.
Quickly, the Celtics close it to a 2-point Cav lead at the 7:55 mark, first quarter. Now time for the teams to settle in, get a little bit nervousness out of the system, and start to execute a little bit better. Shot clock inside of 10 for the first time. World 3. World E3 has 6 points. The Cavs by 4. That's going to be 2 fouls now on Hinton.
And again,
Now they're calling a kick. They're calling a kick, Bill. No foul. They say it was a kick ball. It'll be Celtic ball on the sideline. No, now they're saying it's a foul because they called the 0-0, so I thought it was a kick, but it is on Hinton as we first thought. George Karl not happy with that because Hinton, again, has played so well.
and that's the thing that I was talking about being too emotional.
West was pushed by McHale. No foul call.
The Cavaliers had to be careful.
And the Cavaliers, Bill, with that anxiety to want to do well as Lonnie Shelton comes into the ball game, they are just not executing. They have made 3 bad passes.
They're so high that it's very difficult. Because they're a young team, they don't know how to back off. It's almost like count to 2 and then make your move. Count to 2 and then make your move.
And Casey Jones has called a timeout with 7:05 to go. First quarter, the Cavs lead by 4.
Great day, huh?
Some airlines seem to see how far they can push you.
Puppy?
Not Delta. We'd rather see how well we can fly you.
How about that movie, huh? Just give it a good stand.
And now with movies on selected Delta flights.
Hello?
So why be pushed from here to there
Comfy.
when you can relax and fly Delta? Delta gets you there in style.
Of prelude. Some people like to drive it wide open.
How many shakes can you get from one disposable shake?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday,
No one makes a sharp, long-lasting disposable quite like
Saturday, Sunday.
How many shakes does your disposable give you? How mad am I?
Start saying your prayers, Padres. America's team, the Atlanta Braves, battle San Diego. Live at 10:05 p.m. Eastern on Superstation WTBS. Tonight.
A concerned Casey Jones looking on without Larry Bird. He made the decision along with the team doctor that it was best to rest Larry, whose elbow is only at 20% of what it should be. You see the rebounding advantage to Cleveland. Boston only 3 for 10 shooting from the field. Cleveland 5 for 10 here in the early stages. Good hustle defensively by the Cavs. And Boston continues to miss those open opportunities, but they'll get it back again. Dennis Johnson has missed a couple from out there.
Dennis told me at our shooting practice this morning, says, I always play the best when I'm shooting on a 42% anyway.
He would say that regardless of what he was shooting. Dennis is a very confident individual. Robert Parrish, Shelton with the rebound. Now
Lonnie Shelton to give him a little more stability because he's a veteran and he's been around the playoff situation. And little steps by World B3.
5 turnovers for Cleveland here early in the game. 2 for Boston. Boston now shooting only 3 for 12. 6:25 to go first quarter. And both teams not executing all that well. The crowd, if anything, Bill, has probably gotten the Cavs so pumped up that they haven't been able to settle down to their normal playing range. Again, from the outside, the Celtics cannot convert.
Well, they're going to have to make those outside shots because the Cavaliers are dropping in and to take away all the inside action.
They're insulting them to take. They're just saying, hey, take them. If you want to beat us, you're going to have to beat us out here. And so far, the Celtics have not been able to do it.
What they should do is run their plays a little closer to the baseline.
McHale on Hubbard. Cavs got back well that time. Robert Parrish. Parrish with his first 2 points. Now it's a 2-point Cav lead with 5:40 to go in the first quarter.
I think the execution has not been at a real high level, but the intensity has been above and beyond.
Count it. Continuation rule in the NBA. 3 knifes his way through. 2 Celtics. Let's see who the foul's on. They call it on Ainge.
Because here in the building, you can feel the tension. That's a good World B3 going in. There's a foul and a continuation.
Now, Danny should have taken a bigger step over to cut that little path off, and he hesitated. And what happened, he made the movement as Free was there, and the contact went against him. Free has 9 points. McHale not being able to get those short ones to go. Bagley took it away to Hubbard. World B3 carrying the load offensively. He's got 11. The Celtics only have 8, and the Cavs have 15. 5:05 to go first quarter.
That was bad defense on World B3 coming out of the corner of the last play down.
Dennis Johnson, where he's so tough.
So if I can hit him outside, maybe I'll get him inside.
He's got 4 points. Back to a 5-point Cav lead. 4:45 to go here, first quarter. They got a little battling going on inside between Shelton.
Foul's going to be on World B3.
And Free battling. There's Free and McHale, not Shelton. It was Free. Here we go again. McHale saying, wait, what's going on here?
Oh, they call it on, is that a double foul or is it on McHale?
Double foul, exactly what it was. 1 on World B3, but that's 2 against Kevin McHale. And Boston they have 4 team fouls, so does Cleveland. Both teams will be in the penalty. 4:40 to go here, first quarter. Free already with 11 points. Shelton.
Picked up by Lonnie Shelton.
His first 2 points.
He made a good move in position, and World B3 got the ball right to him. Real nice pass, too.
Parrish with a mismatch inside. He's got Hubbard. Goaltending called against West on the shot by McHale. Kevin McHale working hard on the offensive boards. He can't get those little short ones to drop in, though, here early in the first quarter. We got 4:10 to go first quarter. 5-point lead for the Cavaliers. Parrish off the free miss. Into the game is Ray Williams. Ray throws it away. 4 turnovers for the Celtics.
Good intention, bad execution. He got penetration and trying to pass it off.
And the Cavaliers have taken a timeout. 3:52 to go. They lead the Celtics by 5.
The new American economy.
Let's go for it.
Difficult, demanding, with cost more critical than ever before. But it's working. And UPS is there, meeting the challenge every business morning. It's UPS Next Day Air, and that means getting it there for up to 50% less.
UPS Next Day Air.
We did it. Getting it there, all the way to the bottom line. UPS Next Day Air, getting it there for up to 50% less.
You know, when I started dipping Kodiak,
Made my friend here real happy because it's his brand. Now it's my brand, too. Good and moist with a special cut that packs right. And it's got a big, fresh wintergreen flavor. But don't take my word for it. Just ask my friend here. He's really got away with words, don't he?
Bigger engines were easy on oil. But today's smaller, higher revving engines are tougher. They can break down an oil's viscosity within 1,500 miles. That's why there's Castrol. Tests show Castrol suffers no significant breakdown of viscosity even after 5,000 miles. So use Castrol, because if you make things too hard on your engine could make things hard on you. Castrol, engineered for smaller cars.
Rick Barry back with Bill Russell from the Richfield Coliseum. Good look at George Carl.
Rick, I think that so far, I want to say this. The referees have done an excellent job. This is the kind of game that can really get out of control unless they call it kind of tight early, tight enough so it's not a parade from foul line to foul line, but tight enough so the guys will take a step back and play ball.
Well, they haven't gone to the free throw. Only one free throw shot so far in this entire quarter, and that was World B. Free who made it. But both teams will be in the penalty on any future fouls in this quarter. That's Hubbard over Wedman. His first 2 points. Cleveland back up by 7. 3:30 to go. First quarter. Robert Parrish, offensive foul. His second foul, and the Boston Celtics bench can't believe it.
He did the one before and got away. Let's see if we got a shot of it. Now here comes a shot. He's got the ball, and there's the hook right there.
Shot from our little midgie cam.
Hook anyway.
Parrish dipping that shoulder in, call for the foul. Casey Jones still off the bench, not happy with it at all. Johnny Davis, who just came in, he's been shooting 85% in the playoffs, Bill. Lonnie Shelton with his second basket. We'll be seeing the first of Maxwell now. Cedric Maxwell getting ready to come in, and it's the biggest lead of the game for the Cavaliers. They lead by 9 with 3 minutes to go. First quarter. Oh, it could have been offensive goaltending. Parrish tipped in the miss by Johnson. No call. Casey happy about that one, I'm sure. Good save by West on the pass from Davis. Davis is still hot. He is now 12 for 14, Bill. 12 for 14 in the 2 games in the playoffs. Phenomenal shooting from the floor.
Maybe he should give him a few more shots.
I think so. Good passing. And McHale gets to the line, but boy, he just can't get those little ones in, can he? Foul is going to be on Davis on the switch-off.
Well, I think he's going to try to lay it over the rim. And he got hit and wasn't able to get as high as he thought he was going to be able to get a good pass by Ray Williams right there. He was going to try to lay it up instead of dunking it.
Well, Ray helped make that play with that great cut to the basket. Hubbard goes to the bench, and Ben Coquette has come in. Boston shooting only 7 for 20 from the field, 35%. Cleveland, 11 for 18 for 61%. Those are the people behind the basket, waving those cards, trying to disturb Kevin McHale.
So far, the Celtics have played tough, but tentative.
5 points for Kevin McHale. 8-point lead for the Cavs. 2:15 to go first quarter. Remember, Larry Bird back at the hotel, not playing because of that injured elbow. Mel Turpin will be coming in for the Cavs on the next dead ball. Shot clock is at 7. That's Davis, 3-pointer. Ellis with the rebound. 2 minutes to go now, first quarter. And McHale gets 2 members to join the Paratrooper Club, and he picks Ben Coquette to make the contact with.
Now, let's see. It looks like he might have gone up with the intention of getting the foul. Got 2 of them up.
Does not take you, Ben, because he could have gone into either one and drawn the foul there.
Well, what he figures, you might as well get 2 of them. They double team, so you might as well get 2 for the price of 1.
McHale going for a 6-point. He's got 4 rebounds. And they will need a supreme effort from McHale to win this ball game with Bird out.
We got to talk to McHale today when he realized that Larry wasn't going to play. He said, that's 17 shots. Somebody's got to pick up the slack.
So Kevin with 7 points to go with his rebounds. Cuts it to a 6-point Cav lead. 1:45. Davis now missed his last 2 shots from the outside. Too high and hard from Johnson. 3. World be free. 13 points.
That was not a good idea, that pass that Dennis made to World be free. I mean, to good recovery for Dennis, but the one he tried to make to Kevin McHale was not a good pass.
Well, it was up to 8 quickly from 3, and then Dennis Johnson cuts it very fast, right back down to 6. 6 points for Johnson. Turpin can't handle the pass. Another bad turnover for Cleveland. Dennis Johnson counted if it goes. Dennis Johnson quickly cuts it to only a 4-point Cavalier lead with 1:05 to go in the first quarter.
Let's take another look at it. There goes Dennis. He penetrated right there. And Shelton got him. And he made old teammates from the playoffs when they were both with Seattle.
First foul on Monty. 8 points for Dennis Johnson. Casey Jones sending Greg Kite to the scorer's table. Dennis has 9, and the Cavs lead only by 3.
Now, here's where it makes a difference. Now, when they put Greg Kite in for Robert Parrish, they usually had Larry Bird out there for firepower. Then you, Parrish could take the shot, or Larry. Now, Greg Kite's going to have to become part of the offense.
Turpin can't get his first shot down. Johnson is doing it all. He's got the rebound. Harris loses the handle, but gets it back. No, he doesn't. Who's got it now? It's Davis. 3-on-1 break. 3. He's got Davis on the right. Offensive foul. That's going to be an offensive foul. Great defensive play on the backcourt by Williams. Ray Williams.
And I think that World Be Free might need a blow. Let's see now. Here's the pass. Now here's the foul right here. There's the foul.
There's no reason to do it because Williams was actually floating out of bounds away from the offensive man. He had no chance to block that shot, and Johnny Davis is in his anxiety to get it there. Threw out his left arm for the foul. You see Free. They must have taken your advice, Bill. He's getting a little rest right now. Bagley's back into the ball game for him. Got 10 seconds to go in the first quarter. 1 second differential between the game clock and the 24-second clock. Game clock, inside, Maxwell.
Now, Poquette went out to double team on Dennis and left his man. That was a breakdown defensively.
1 second, count it if it goes. Well, try by Bagley, and the Boston Celtics have come back strong. They have run off 10-2 to get back into this ball game. They now trail by only 1.
Just before his trip, Bart Price checked his engine for any problems, but there was one he couldn't see. The fan belt. Even this morning, no mechanic could have seen it would break, because today's engine belts don't usually show signs of wear. But after 4 years, even the best belts can go anytime. Is your car 4 years old or older? Change the belts and ask for Gates, because nobody knows more about belts.
Memories of the smiles we left behind, smiles we gave to one another.
Why trust moments like these to anything other than Kodak videotape? It captures the sights and sounds of every moment with color that's beautifully accurate, unmistakably Kodak.
For the way we were.
When the moment means more, trust it to Kodak videotape.
Introducing the fuel-injected Honda Civic CRX SI. It's a rocket.
America's Super Shootout, the NBA playoffs. Brought to you in part by UPS Next Day Air. Getting today's packages there tomorrow morning.
Well, Bill, you know all about it as George Carlick's on, a thing called Celtic pride. I think that came to the forefront here at the last part of the first quarter when, with Bird being out of the game, the pride of the Celtics really took over when they came back from that big deficit.
Well, I think that aside from the fact that Dennis Johnson is playing this great basketball, one of the things that has hurt the Cavaliers, if you want to call it being hurt because they're leading, is that I think they might have been a little too high emotionally. That's the reason that World Be Free got tired. Because if you're that high, it takes so much out of you that you have to take a break. Now, what they have to do is regroup. And it's going to be more difficult because it's like starting over from 3 steps back.
Kite is into the ball game. Maxwell pushed off by Polpetti, gets the ball and scores. You saw the shooting percentages. Boston has to be very happy to be 1 point behind, shooting only 41.7% to 52 for Cleveland. They close the gap in the rebounds. They still can't get those short ones to go. That's Turpin to Davis. Good ball movement by the Cavaliers. Now Turpin. Quickly, it's up to a 5-point lead. Bagley, 3-on-2 break. Coquette was on the right, was held by Maxwell. Cedric Maxwell held Coquette as he was running up the court, and I think it threw off his timing.
He got him long before he got to the ball, before the referee was watching.
But when you're a big guy, it takes a while to get it back, Bill, when you're going that fast. That's Coquette on Maxwell. Max off balance. Cavs again with a 3-on-1 break this time. That's Shelton. Turpin on the follow-up. Another good defensive play by Williams.
Right.
But Turpin was there.
Play by Williams, but the guys did not get back defensively as a unit.
And quickly a 6-0 run by the Cavaliers. They led by 1. Now they're up by 7. Dennis Johnson on his way to the basket. Drew a little company.
That's a good sweep there. You can't let the big guy like that go in there.
Well, Robert Parrish didn't get a whole lot of rest. He's coming right back in now for Kite. Wetton is also coming back in. And McHale will get a chance to rest.
Ray Williams better be in shape because it looks like he's going to have some long minutes out there tonight.
Well, McHale played 47 minutes in the game on Saturday. That's Ron Anderson coming into the ball game for Cleveland. He did not play in either game 1 or game 2, so his first action here in this playoff series. And the fans behind the basket very happy, thinking that they had some effect on Dennis Johnson's free throw attempt. Johnson, 9 points in the game, and there's what Johnson has to look at least from a further away view. Dennis now with 10 points. Celtics trail by 6. We've got 10:15 to go in the first half. Little flat on that shot by Anderson. Maxwell with the rebound. Ray Williams made a great move but couldn't get it to drop. 3-on-2 break for the Cavaliers. Bagley to Turpin, who takes it home. Now Turpin with 6 quick points.
Turpin is outrunning Robert Parrish.
Back up to an 8-point lead by the Cavaliers. 9:40 to go. Danny Ainge getting ready to come back in for the Celtics. Turpin over the back of Robert Parrish.
That was not a good foul, but he let him get the position, so he didn't have much of a choice.
Second.
And he fouled him before he got the shot, so that it's Mason.
Second team foul against the Cavaliers. The Celtics have none so far in this second quarter. 9:30 to go. First half. That's a jump ball. Good defense by Mel.
Let's take another look at that.
Just put his hands up, and Robert Parrish took it right into his hands and came down. So jump ball. Control. Turpin and Bagley with great hustle. Ainge, no, they call traveling against Bagley. And George Karl runs off the court almost. He does go off the court. He went all the way out off the court.
Let's see if we can see that.
There he is coming back now, finally. Could not believe the call. said, trying to run that set offense. They don't have the creativity of Bird, who, if you just joined us, is not playing tonight. He's not even here. Got that bad elbow. Wedman blocked. Coquette, but a foul. George Call again doing a little Irish jig down the other end of the court.
Now, what can happen is he gets the crowd real up and with him, but he's making the referees down on him. So they might think he's trying to make them look bad. And referees are real funny about that type of thing.
Tell me about it, Phil.
Huh?
Tell me about it. You don't think I know that? Boy, they don't like that at all. And really, I can't say that I blame them. Thankless job. And if you do make a scene out there, you do tend to bring the crowd's wrath down on them even more. Scotty Wedman now has 4 points for the Celtics. They trail, as you see, by 6 points. We've got 8:55 to go in the first half. Turpin flat on that one. The Shelton's going to be called for pushing off.
Maxwell's in there.
Ronnie Shelton pushing off. 3 team fouls against the Cavs. His second personal. Boston's 0 for 4 so far from the field here in the second quarter. Make it 0 for 5. Anderson keeps it alive. Good hustle. Bagley to Turpin. Turpin better stick to the inside game. He's doing much better, and he's more effective in there. He's got 8 points.
Well, he's been running the court real. His 3 baskets have been as a result of our running the defensive center.
Scott Wedman now with 6 points as he finally gets an outside shot to drop for the Celtics. Back to a 6-point Cavalier lead. 8:10 to go first half. Edgar Jones reporting to the scorer's table. Ronnie Shelton. He's got 6.
And now I think the Cavaliers look like they may be a little settled down, and this is the way they're going to play.
Robert Parrish inside against Turpin. Parrish now has 6. Worrell B. Free will be coming back in on the next dead ball with Edgar Jones for the Cavs. And they got a foul inside
on Danny Ainge.
Ainge holding on the cut through of Anderson. See Dennis Johnson getting ready to come in. First team foul against the Celtics. Dennis is in for Ray Williams.
And Ray Williams did it first quarter, did a good job for the Celtics. Had a turnover, but he also real well defensively.
Cavaliers looking to go inside, and they get yet another turnover. That is their 9th turnover of the ball game. Coming up on the 7:30 mark, first half. Looking to go to Parrish inside. Free comes over to strip it away. Not Free, that was Bagley who did it, but he was out of bounds when they knocked it out of Parrish's hands. It was a good play. Only the court wasn't long enough.
Double teaming from the baseline.
The court just wasn't long enough.
Right.
Shot clock down to 7. Wedman just inside the 3-point area. Scott Wedman starting to find the range. He's got 8 points. 3 and Dennis Johnson with a little
no, I don't think
pushing,
they're just talking. I don't think they're get into anything. They don't.
4-point Cavalier lead.
I think they're both too busy playing to get into a little side game.
Turpin gets the 3 miss. He's been flat on an outside jumper. That's Parrish with the rebound.
And that's result. It has to be a result of that hamstring.
Parrish over the back. Robert Parrish will now pick up his 3rd personal foul. That could be extremely critical as far as the Celtics are concerned. With a timeout on the court, 6:41 to go in the first half. The Cavs are ahead of the Celtics by 4.
Winning in basketball takes control. Winning in life also takes control. I'm Isaiah Thomas, and this is my mom. Together we have everything under control.
That's right. Isaiah have his basketball under control, and I have my high blood pressure under control.
Call the American Heart Association to see how you can help control high blood pressure.
Even when Isaiah was a baby, he was quite a dribbler.
I was?
Yes, you dribble your milk.
The American Heart Association, we're fighting for your life.
We improved the new Ford Escort in a lot of different areas. We improved it in the area of performance with quicker acceleration. We improved it in the area of efficiency with better gas mileage. We even improved it in the area of comfort, not to mention just about every other area, too, which is quite impressive for a car already the bestseller in this area. Have you driven the best-built American cars? Have you driven a Ford lately?
Action in the NBA playoffs tonight to be the Lakers going against Phoenix in Phoenix. Lakers up 2-0 in that series. Dallas against Portland. They've had quite a battle. 2 overtime games, one a double overtime. That be played at Portland. Denver and San Antonio all tied at 1-1. That game being played down in San Antonio, where Denver has had a lot of difficulty winning lately, last few seasons. And tomorrow to be Milwaukee and Chicago, Philly at Washington, Houston at Utah, and Detroit at New Jersey. And in that first quarter, Bill, establishing an inside game. Boston tried it. They were 9 for 17. 17 of their 24 shots came from inside. They were only 1 for 7 from the outside. Cleveland was 7 for 13 inside and 5 for 10 outside. So they had the edge, and that's why they led. Reminder that after this game, stay tuned. It'll be the Braves and the Padres coming right after the action here in this game number 3. Edgar Jones, not exactly his shot that far out. Celtics would like to see him take that all night long. And the Celtics still shooting very poorly. 33% in the second quarter, only 39 for the ball game. McHale is back into the Celtics as Ainge misfires. Not even close. Free comes away with it. Here come the Cavaliers. Hinson, who's just come back in. And that's what he did so impressively in games 1 and 2. He is so strong inside. He had foul trouble early in the game and was sitting out a majority of the first period, along with a good first half of the second quarter. He's come back in strong now. Cleveland with 12 breaks and 12 points. Boston with only 7. Again, the outside shot will not drop. Shot clock down inside of 10 for the Cavs. From 18, he's got 8 points, and the Cavaliers back up now.
The Cavaliers are hitting the necessary outside shot to open the inside game up.
They're ahead by 8. Danny Ainge can't find the range. Edgar Jones controls for the Cavaliers. As long as Boston keeps missing, the Cavs will shut the middle off. Foul, McHale. That'll be 3 on McHale. The goal line is 3 on Parrish. With a bird out of this game, they can ill afford to have either McHale or Parrish pick up that 4th foul.
Look at it. Looks like he went right into him.
After the shot. And I tell you, Free has a little trick of his, though, Bill. I can tell you firsthand about it. When he goes up to shoot that jumper and you jump at him, what he will do is throw out one of his legs to make contact as you try to go by with him. So when the official looks, he sees you hitting his leg, and he hits the deck, and you get fouls called against you, and actually he's kicking you. It's a tricky little play, and it works well for World B. Free. Free has 14 points now. The Cavaliers back up by 9.
Would you believe 10?
Yes, I would. 15 now for Free. Ray Williams into the ball game. Remember, Parrish and McHale playing both with 3 fouls. Parrish falls down and the ball's thrown away. Edgar Jones.
Good defense.
Back come the Celtics. 4:50 to go in the half. Trying to cut that big 10-point Cleveland lead down to 8. And Boston can't buy a basket. They're calling 3 seconds, I believe. 3 seconds. They could have toasted marshmallows in there that time.
You have to whoever made that pass. He stayed there. He'd been there about a half a minute when he made the pass.
George Karl shouting out the play that he once run for the Cavalier offense. Casey Jones shouted out his defensive assignment. It's the most I've seen Casey off the bench in a while. He's very concerned. Henson with a strong move against Parrish and a quick move.
And he's too quick for Parrish to guard when he makes a lateral move.
And Casey Jones has called a timeout.
Spiro. 2 seconds. 1 second. Hey, on the next word. Incredible. Hey, with 5 seconds into the front court, goes to Malone into the corner. Malone throws up a brick left side. Oh, my goodness, what a shot.
America's game.
Unbelievable shot.
It's fantastic.
Setting off to find America. Gonna take my own sweet time to find America.
Kodacolor VR films, capturing America in all its glorious colors.
And everywhere I see people smiling back at me, so glad to be in America.
Kodak film, because time goes by.
She's got the most beautiful lines in the yard. Now, if I can only get her to float.
You're doing it right. You're doing it right. You're doing it. Doing it. You're doing it right. You're doing it right. 'Cause it means more when you're doing it for yourself.
Stanley, for the quality of your life.
Stanley helps you do things right.
Cleveland has run off 8-0 against the Celtics and taken a commanding lead. Boston only scored 3 field goals so far this quarter. At the conclusion of the game, Bill and I are going to select the Light Beer Most Valuable Player of the game. And, of course, in conjunction with that award, Turner Broadcasting and Light Beer from Miller will present a check for $500 to the National Multiple Sclerosis Foundation in that player's name. Celtics trying to get something going here as Shelton knocks it out of bounds. 9 seconds on the shot clock. They've got 4:05 to go in the half. Biggest lead of the game for the Cavs now. They lead by 12 points. And Cedric Maxwell is going to be reporting in for the Celtics. Cleveland has outscored the Boston from the bench 20-2 in this game. And they, of course, they have done that throughout this series so far. Boston still on top, 2-0. Bagley, great hustle, comes away with it. To Hinson, watch out. I think 20,000 people are telling you what they think of Roy Hinson.
And they're right.
He's got 10 points. The Cavs lead by 14 with 3:45 to go in the half. Dennis Johnson silences the crowd quickly. Johnson now with 12.
Just quiets him a little bit.
Foul is going to be on Dennis Johnson. Reminder, doubleheader action from here at the Super Shootout on the Superstation Friday night. The first game we will announce 8:05 Eastern Time. The second game will be the Rockets at the Jazz, playing in Salt Lake City. Worldie free.
He ran that tricky pitch. Dennis hit 3 pitch, and he never did have a chance to catch up.
14-point lead. 3. Now with 17 points. 3:15 to go in the first half. And the Celtics are missing Larry Bird without any doubts. They can't buy the inside basket. Shelton comes away with it. He's having an atrocious shooting night. Last touch by Maxwell. Cleveland ball. 17 seconds to shoot. 17. The Celtics have not done real well when Larry Bird has not been in the lineup. The only first time they lost 2 games in a row back-to-back all season was at the end of the season when Bird was out resting that elbow that he's out with tonight. Cavaliers trying to go up by 16. 3 can't get it done. Celtics going to the set offense. Wedman freelances and comes through. Scott Wedman.
I think that Ray Williams is playing well, but he's going to have to look for a shot a little more if they're going to get back into this ball game.
Celtics by 12-point deficit now. 2:25 to go in the half. Hinson, great effort, but they call him for going over the back on the miss by Shelton, and he thought he had the ball and was grabbed. Tommy Nunes will have nothing to do with that argument. So now 3 fouls on Hinson, which will hurt the Cavs.
I think we have a picture of that. Let's see. Here's his rebound.
Straight up in the air. He did have it and was hooked. He had reason to argue, Bill. He went straight in the air, had the ball, and Cedric hooked his arm and pulled him down.
You mean that's a
That's the experience of Cedric Maxwell.
Where you draw it, where you put the 5 and look like the other guy did it?
That's right. And that's exactly what happened.
Hey, you know all those tricks, Rick.
I'm learning them from you, Bill. Unfortunately, they've only come about 6 years too late. Cedric Maxwell hit the ground.
He said, please go in.
And that brings a little smile to Cedric's face. He couldn't believe that one. That may have had the most rim time of any ball in the playoffs so far. Celtics haven't had a lot to smile about. Maxwell cuts it back to a 10-point Cav lead at the 2:15 mark, first half. Be important for the Celtics if they can get it down inside of 10 going into halftime. Good ball movement. Poquet.
When you move the ball, you usually have a good shot that'll go in.
Bagley has not been shooting a lot, but he has 10 assists so far in the ball game. Stolen. Cavs, no foul called on Hubbard.
And he knows. He's hoping maybe get away with it. You hit a guy, and you say, well, maybe if I get away from there pretty quick, they won't notice it. Too late.
Now, had he gotten away with it, it was a dunk for World Be Free. Well, he might not have dunked it with that sore thigh muscle, groin muscle that he has. Wedman with 10 points. And Scotty Wedman has done a nice job filling in for Larry Bird. He's got 11 points so far in the ball game. He was off target early, but he's found the range in his last 3 or 4 efforts. As West will come into the ball game for Lonnie Shelton.
Now, the Cavaliers have settled down. They were really hyper to start the game, and they have settled down quite a bit.
They only have 10 assists now so far in the ball game, but they had like 7 of those early on. In fact, they had 7 of them in the first quarter alone. Inside, Maxwell is going to be called this time, holding against Hubbard. Team fouls are now the penalty against the Celtics. 1:40 to go in the half. Hubbard with a chance to increase that 10-point Cavalier lead.
I'll tell you, when the guys post up, try to get inside post-up position, they have to pay. They're beating, these two teams are beating each other up pretty good when they post up.
Robert Parrish resting on the bench now. He's got 3 fouls for the Celtics. McHale's playing. He has 3 fouls. Hinton with 3 fouls for the Cavaliers is on the bench. Hubbard now has 4 points.
Plays better with 3 fouls than Robert Parrish does.
1:30 to go in the first half. Three-pointer. McHale with the rebound off the Williams miss. Good hustle by Wedman. Again, the Celtics not being able to buy a basket. They're going to call an offensive foul inside. It's going to be on Cedric Maxwell. Bill, it's got to be over a half a dozen shots they've had that close to the hole, and they can't get him to drop.
Right, that's Hughes taking a look at that. I didn't see the elbow, but I guess he did it.
They say he hit the man who was behind on that particular angle. You couldn't see the outside man who was Poquet. Underneath, Hubbard wide open. Foul, Maxwell. He was in there for so long, they actually could have called 3 seconds.
Well, the reason he was wide open, they saw the pick, and Dennis was a couple of steps behind World Be Free, and they switched out, and they left Maxwell with the help out, and he left Hubbard by himself. Good move by Hubbard to stay there. And you have to take a chance on 3 seconds on that particular situation.
Hubbard now with 5 points. The Cavaliers by 13.
And they're starting to pull away.
Hubbard very pleased to be in his first playoff. This is 6th NBA season. He's been waiting a long time for it. Poquet waited 8 seasons to get here. And they're making the most of it as they are pushing the Celtics to the limit. McHale will go to the free throw line. They're calling it on West, his 3rd foul. So he joins the 3-foul club. Go with Hinton, McHale, and Parrish. Mel Turpin coming back into the ball game. Did a good job in his short stint coming off the bench. Got 8 points in the second period, in the beginning of the second period. Comes back in with 52 seconds to go in the half. Kevin McHale has 8 points. Celtics trail now by 12. Final 50 seconds of the half.
And the Celtics could use a couple of good defensive plays.
Little double teaming, good ball movement, and Scott Wedman almost knocked for 3 for a steal by the Celtics, but back come the Cavs. Celtics with a chance to cut it to 10. They get a quick basket, good defense, and get it back. They could get it down under 8, but the way they're using the clock now, I would assume the Cavs will play for the last shot once they get the ball back. They'll have 10 seconds after the Celtics get done with it. Wedman with 3 on the shot clock. The Cavaliers now have 9 seconds. Wedman almost with a big steal. 7 seconds to go in the half. The Cavaliers with a chance. George Karl's calling his 22nd timeout to use in this half to come up with a good offensive configuration to try and go into the locker room with a 14 or more point lead. So the Cavaliers, Bill, have taken advantage of the loss of Larry Bird.
They've done a great job of taking advantage of it. That's what you have to do is now Coach Karl did a good job considering that he was working at a certain disadvantage and that his team might have been a little too high.
Well, they've settled down and they're doing a good job now. We have to remind everybody the program is authorized under rights that are granted by the NBA solely for the entertainment of our audience, and any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the NBA is prohibited. And Commissioner David Stern is here in attendance, and the Cavs throw it away. We'll have him at halftime, and it is now only a 10-point lead for the Cavaliers. So they missed a golden opportunity. The 22nd timeout goes for naught for the Cavaliers, but they still are leading the birdless Boston Celtics by 10 in this game number 3. We'll be back with halftime activities in just a moment.
The excitement of the NBA. Now you can get the NBA feeling. Be part of the action when you choose from this official NBA catalog. Over 60 different items are available for your favorite team. Authentic NBA game jerseys and shorts, warm-up jackets, pants, game balls, and socks. To get your catalog, send $1 credited to your first order to NBA Catalog, Box 800-800, Seattle, Washington, 98108. Every page is filled with official NBA licensed products, sweatshirts, sweatpants, and warm-up suits, T-shirts, and pullovers. Or choose the official jacket of the NBA from Starter Sportswear. And there's a great assortment of novelties, gifts, and toys, plus videotapes of great NBA action. Just send $1 today and get your NBA catalog. Send to NBA Catalog, Box 800-800, Seattle, Washington, 98108. Get this NBA exercise watch free with all orders over $50. Get the NBA feeling.
Shake it on down. Shake it on down now. Shake it on down the line. I said shake it on down.
When we test big Ford pickups, we really shake them up above and beyond how you normally drive your truck. That's another reason why we can say they're built Ford tough.
Shake it on down.
The best built American trucks are built Ford tough.
How many shakes can you get from one disposable shake?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
No one makes a sharp, long-lasting disposable quite like
Saturday, Sunday.
How many shakes does your disposable give you?
America's Super Shootout, the NBA playoffs. Brought to you in part by Honda, makers of the Prelude.
I'm with Executive Vice President and General Manager of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Harry Weltman. Harry, first of all, congratulations on turning things around here for the ball club. Your feelings about what's happened here at Cleveland this season?
Well, we've endured a very difficult start, Rick. 2-19. We had a new coach, a lot of new players, a new system. About middle of the way of the season, we began to put it together. Our guys ended strong. We clinched a playoff spot, and the people of Cleveland have really responded.
Okay, you've had a lot of difficulty here in this franchise over the years with different owners. What is the status of the Cleveland franchise right now, in your opinion?
Well, we have great stability. We have great owners. The Gunn brothers who own the club are involved, and we have the capital necessary to build this club. Our goal was to build as good an organization as exists all of sports before we became competitive on the floor, and we've tried to do that.
What has the finish and the way your team has played so toughly against the Boston Celtics, what will this mean to the Cavaliers next season?
Well, we'd love to have a flying star. We're delighted to be in the playoffs. We're delighted that we're playing Boston so tough. It would be a fantastic miracle finish if we could take this thing 5, or who knows how far we can go.
All right, I'm going to put you on the spot. Can you win this ball game tonight? And if so, do you think you really do have a chance against the Celtics?
Yeah, I do. I really do. We felt when we went into Boston we were not going in to lose. We played them tough, a couple of calls, a couple of bounces here and there, and we could have come back here 2-0, no less than 1-1. Bird isn't playing, but they tell me injuries are part of the game. If we win tonight, it sets up a very interesting confrontation on Thursday, and Sunday anything can happen.
Well, we wish you the best. You've done a terrific job. I know you've got great people, Dave Watkins and the rest of the crew. Continued success to you. And we're going to take a little pause right now, and then our good friend Gary Miller is going to be coming to you with the Prudential Sports Update.
Around here people seem to say it all without saying a word.
There are still places where you can shake a man's hand, buy him a Miller, and you've got yourself a deal.
Miller's made the American way, born and brewed in the USA, just as proud as the people who are drinking it today.
Miller beer, purity you can see, quality you can taste.
Miller's made the American way.
Hawaii, lush, tropical, enchanting paradise. Like no place else in the world. No wonder everyone wants to go there. Now Delta makes it easy with a wide-ride tri-star flight to Honolulu every day. And you'll love Delta's friendly personal service. Delta and Hawaii, together at last. Won't you join us?
The Prudential Sports Update is brought to you by Prudential. For life, health, auto, home. Get a piece of the rock. Prudential Insurance.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Prudential Sports Update. I'm Gary Miller, joining you at halftime of our game in Cleveland between the Cavaliers and Celtics in Richfield Coliseum. Along with the NBA, the Stanley Cup playoffs resume tonight. We'll update you on those games as well as the day in baseball in the next few minutes. Let's start with the matter at hand, though. 3 other first-round series continue Tuesday, as well as the one you're enjoying right now. In San Antonio, the Spurs have come home with a split after beating the Nuggets in Denver for the first time in 4 years. Well, Denver hasn't won in Hemisphere Arena in that same time, and they'll have to do it to get ahead in this series. That game just underway. The Lakers are trying to knock Phoenix out of the playoffs, and they'll have to embarrass them in front of the home crowd at Veteran Memorial in Phoenix. That game in about an hour, and Dallas is at Portland. That series even at a game apiece as well as the Blazers return home. All 4 divisional finals resume in the Stanley Cup playoffs this evening, and each has shifted sites. For the Adams Division Championship, they didn't even have to leave the province. It's still in Quebec, but Game 3 is in Quebec City, not Montreal, and the Canadiens are doing it on the road. They opened up a 2-1 lead over the homestanders. That game's still in the first period. Now let's go to Nassau Coliseum, where the Islanders are down 2-0 to Philadelphia, and watch this. Al Arbour gets hit in the head with a puck by his own player. If things weren't bad enough, he's down 0-2 in a best-of-7 series, but maybe that rallied his team. At least it looks so on this play. What an angle for Anders Keller, who beats Pelle Lundberg, the best goalie in the playoffs thus far, and the Islanders enjoy a 1-0 lead in the first period at Nassau. At the Met Center in Minneapolis, it's the North Stars in Chicago, even at a game apiece as Minnesota returns home. And also just getting underway, Edmonton is at the arena in Winnipeg, enjoying a 2-0 lead over the Jets are the Oilers. When we come back, a look at the baseball boards, but first here's tomorrow's schedule when the other 4 first-round series resume in the NBA.
The last thing I heard was the siren. I wouldn't make it. I'd never see my wife, the baby on the way. You take care of them.
Close one.
Yeah, we made it.
I got a second chance to make sure both my loved ones are cared for.
At Prudential, we know most of us don't get a second chance. Talk to a Prudential agent and get the peace of mind that comes with a piece of the rock.
I'm here.
Prudential Life Insurance.
Along with the second half of our NBA game, a reminder to stay with the Superstation for Braves baseball. After the Celtics and Cavaliers, the Braves continue a series in San Diego. Rick Mahler going for his fourth win without a loss against the Padres. That begins at 10 Eastern. Around the diamond so far today, an extra inning affair. Montreal beats Philadelphia 5-4. Charlie Hudson walks Vance Law with the bases loaded to win it for the Expos. San Francisco beats the Dodgers 2-1. That snaps a 7-game losing streak for the Giants. And also Fernando Valenzuela's 25-inning scoreless streak. He's yet to give up an earned run, but he's already lost twice. In the fourth inning, the Cubs and Pirates are still scoreless as they go to the fourth. Just underway at Busch Stadium are the Cards and Mets. And also, the first pitch, they go to the second inning now, rather, as Houston and Cincinnati are scoreless. In the American League, just one final so far. Dan Petrie beats Bert Blyleven in Cleveland. It is the Tigers 4-3 over the Tribe. Second inning, it's Kansas City 2-1 over Toronto. Boston and the Yankees are scoreless in the first. Just getting underway at Comiskey Park are the White Sox and Brewers. Seattle visits Minnesota. That game is scoreless in the first. And Baltimore is at Texas to play the Rangers. And in a couple of hours, it'll be Oakland and California in the final game of the day in the American League. Second half tip-off just minutes away now. We'll go back to Cleveland after this.
I was drowning. Let's go. Nothing could save me. My children. How would they get along without me? So much more to do.
Breathing, my pulse is back. She's gonna be okay.
I got a second chance to do all those things I always meant to do.
At Prudential, we know most of us don't get a second chance. Talk to a Prudential agent and get the peace of mind that comes with a piece of the rock.
We're all right now.
Get a piece of the rock. Prudential Life Insurance.
The Prudential Sports Update was brought to you by Prudential. For life, health, auto, home. Get a piece of the rock. Prudential Insurance.
That'll do it for this edition of the Prudential Sports Update. I'm Gary Miller. Now let's go back to Rick Barry and Bill Russell at courtside in Richfield Coliseum.
Thank you very much, Gary. And David Stern, the commissioner of the NBA. I know, David, that you have to be pleased with what's happened here in Cleveland. How do you feel about the transition they've made during the course of the year?
I think they're really demonstrating that if you have solid ownership that stays with it and doesn't go for some quick solutions, that you'll do okay, and it's really gratifying to see it.
Well, I have to compliment you and your staff for the excellent job that you have done in your tenure here in the NBA. Tell us a little bit about the success of this NBA season so far.
That's too easy, Rick. Our attendance is up, our ratings are up, our revenues are up, and really working together with the players through our collective bargaining agreement and our drug agreement have really worked very well. And the league seems to be on very much of a roll, and we're very happy about it.
Okay, well, you said it was too easy. I tell you, I know a guy that's got a tough one for you. Okay, Bill, give it to him.
Okay, David, the draft's coming up. Now, this lottery for the draft, are you pleased with how it came out so far?
I think the lottery itself is a good idea. I have some questions about whether the seventh team perhaps should pick, I guess the seventh best team should perhaps be eligible to pick instead of the worst team in the league. But I think that the lottery is a pretty good solution to a difficult problem.
Well, you handle that very... You sure you're not running for office, David? You handle that very well.
Don't you like the lottery, Bill?
All right, David, let me ask you one thing quickly. What would be the one area of the NBA and whatever is going on in the inner workings that you feel is the most important area to be improved?
I think what we have to do is keep working with the players to push this sport forward. There's so much sports around. All kinds of professional sports and entertainment options that we have to work hard to earn the fans' respect, and I think that our players are the ones to do it.
Are you pleased so far with the way the television ratings have been going as far as using the, of course, TBS and the national cable?
Especially the TBS ratings and the TBS announce team.
Well, the TBS announce team, terrific. Next year, what do you feel is going to be the #1 goal as far as the NBA is concerned in improving attendance?
I think that marketing, I think that what we're seeing here tonight with 21,000 people is simply a team working hard to demonstrate to its local fans that it loves them and wants to do things to bring them out. I think the fans respond to that. And we have very sophisticated marketing now and hard work by our owners and their staffs. And I think the rest will take care of itself.
Well, keep up the good work. Congratulations on the success thus far. I know your crew will do it. And I know that these two teams are ready to do it. And we're going to be back with the start of the second half in just a little while.
Bigger engines were easy on oil. But today's smaller, higher revving engines are tougher. They can break down an oil's viscosity within 1,500 miles. That's why there's Castrol. Tests show Castrol suffers no significant breakdown of viscosity even after 5,000 miles. So use Castrol, because if you make things too hard on your engine could make things hard on you. Castrol, engineered for smaller cars.
Here's to good friends.
Terrific reunion.
Yeah, the last time we were here, we made history. Tonight is kind of special. I stole that ball. I made the pass.
I made the shot.
Make that shot again, we'll buy you a loan, Rob. The beer will pour. Must say something more somehow.
Hey, what can I tell you? We still got it.
Never lost it. Let it be low and brown.
America's Super Shootout, the NBA playoffs. Brought to you in part by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately?
All right, let's take a look at some of those statistics in the first half, Bill. And right away, you have to look at the first one for the Celtics. 36% from the floor. Why do you think that is the case?
They played a very tentative first half, Rick. They were not sure of themselves, as they usually are. And so that's one of the first places of affection, because they missed a lot of shots that defense had nothing to do with.
Well, I felt that, of course, they missed the presence of Larry Bird, but they still executed and got inside, and yet they were not able to just get the ball in the basket, even from 6 feet and in. And I don't know what the reason for that is, other than just one of those games.
They were hurrying their shots. And it's a thing that when you play tentative, the first thing that happens is you lose a rhythm. And you know how important that is on making shots, no matter how close or how far away you are.
On those free throw percentages, Boston was 13 for 50, and the Cavs 7 for 7. So if it weren't for the free throw line, the Celtics would be even in more difficulty here. On establishing that inside game, Bill, Boston was 11 for 24 on their inside attempts. Cleveland 15 for 26. Well, take a look at the individual scoring.
11 for 24 is not good shooting.
Not when you're inside 10, 12 feet.
And they didn't go to the foul line an excessive amount. And again, start the second half, they're going to have to come out, and they can't let Cleveland start the third quarter the way they started the game. They do it, the game will be over in about another 5 or 6 minutes.
And talking about their outside shooting, the Celtics, that is 5 for 19 on their outside attempts, 26%. Cleveland at least was respectable with 9 for 20, but that inside game was the difference. They established it. The Celtics not able to get the ball to drop for them. We'll see who comes out to start for Boston. It's going to be McHale, Ainge, Wedman, Robert Parrish, and Dennis Johnson. And it will be the same team for the Cavaliers. Bagley, Worlby, Free, Hinson, West, and Hubbard.
Now, I think that Boston's going to have to be very careful, because the Cavaliers will start better and not throwing the ball away and causing uncalled turnovers than they were to start the game.
They had 7 in the first quarter, and then they settled down.
Now, this is a mismatch. Worlby, Free, and Robert Parrish. Good rebound by Kevin McHale. He couldn't get it, so he knocked it away, make sure it wasn't tipped up.
Cleveland had 14 break chances in the first half for 14 points. Boston only had 7 for 7 points. So Cleveland now running the Celtics.
Danny Ainge did not have a good first half, but he, as long as Lloyd Free are both playing injured.
Parrish cuts it to 8 points. Of course, Worlby Free having that groin pull. There's a little double by the Celtics on Hinson. Shot clock is down to 7. West in strong. Celtics wanted a push-off foul. All of them off the bench. Even Ray Melchiori, the trainer, came off the bench. Little pump fake. Robert Parrish, 4 fouls. The ball was knocked away by Ainge behind him, but or was it by Wedman? I think it was in there. And that.
You know what I'm going to do right now while we shoot a free throw? I'm going to apologize to Worlby Free So every time I forget the second half, I'm going to apologize ahead of time.
Okay.
You know, I've known him for half of his lifetime. That's no excuse, but I want to apologize before.
And West throws a couple of mortar shots up there, and that's a very good touch on those free throw attempts. Celtics only trailing by 8 despite the horrendous first half shooting percentage. A break.
Kevin almost hit
McHale had it and just lost the handle. Bagley to Hinson, who goes strong and draws the foul. Now let's see, that's going to be on Dennis Johnson.
Let's see, now there's the pass hands. He's going for the dunk, and there's the foul right there.
On the arm, so that's 3 fouls now on Dennis Johnson as well. Hinson playing with 3 for the Cavaliers. And the Cavaliers missing 3 consecutive free throw attempts, and that hurt them very badly in game number 1. People didn't talk a lot about that, Bill, but had they shot as good a percentage up in the 80s like the Celtics did in game number 1, they would have won on the free throw line. Hinson crawls that one in. He's got 11 points now. It's back up to a 9-point Cleveland lead. We've played a minute and a half here in the third quarter. Bagley with a good rebound as he came in to take it away from McHale. Not a good pass that time by John.
Good steal by Scott Redmond. Played one of the passing lanes.
McHale over West.
He shoots the ball so soft, it looks like it can't go in. It looks like it crawls in.
He's got 11 points. It's only a 7-point lead now for the Cavaliers. 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. Oh, Hinson is so tough on that move.
When he goes up, it looks like he's taking a jump shot.
Just extends that arm and takes it home. McHale draws the foul against West.
And he's going to have him in foul trouble pretty soon, I think.
I think he's already got him.
Yes.
I'll tell you, the way that Coquette's been playing off the bench and Shelton as well, I think they have a lot more offense when those players are in as opposed to West, who just kind of beefs things up inside. He doesn't really score points, so they might have more versatility with one of those other players in the ball game. Of course, they don't have the same size.
And they give up other things, too. See, when you're putting your team out on the floor, you got to have a lot of different areas covered, and these guys sometimes that don't score as well do a lot of other things for you. They can make sure they set the good picks, and instead of looking for shots for themselves, they're looking for shots for other guys. That's one reason they don't score. You know how it is to have a good guy setting picks for you.
Oh, I love it. There's a pick right there by West, and Hubbard gets free, but he can't get it to drop. Not a good shot. Celtics can cut it to a 5-point Cavalier lead. Wedman does just that. Scotty Wedman now has 16 points filling in for the injured Larry Bird. And very quickly, the Celtics have cut that 10-point lead in half at the 9-10 mark, third quarter.
And that should be 5 fouls.
On West, offensive foul.
You can't move that pick. You have got to set the pick and let the offensive man run the defensive man into you.
Lonnie Shelton coming in now.
Here's a guy that doesn't have to move to set a pick.
No, he's a pick. He's a walking pick.
Oh, yeah, just stand there. If you can't run a pick into Lonnie, you're very deficient in that skill.
Shot clock going down inside of 10. The Chief, Robert Parrish. It is a 3-point Cavalier lead. And quickly, George Karl calls a timeout. The 20,000-plus crowd here has quieted it down as they see their team now only leading by 3.
Fly Delta to Europe.
To London. It's the only place to holiday.
And Delta gets you there.
Quite.
Frankfurt and Germany is the only place to have a good time. When Delta gets you there.
Come to Paris. Need I say more? And Delta gets you there, too.
London, Frankfurt, or Paris. The choice is yours.
Some stores offer a small selection of hardware and advice like this.
You need a washer. How's this beauty?
But Sentry Hardware offers thousands of products like Quick Fix Electronic Ignition, $744. Gates Flexigen Hose, $14.99. Mako Liquid Nails, $109. Plus, advice like this.
Need a washer. How's this beauty?
Sentry, where hardware isn't a sideline.
Houston faces Utah in a pivotal matchup. See it as part 2 of a Super Shootout doubleheader. Live at 10:30 p.m. Eastern on Superstation WTBS. Friday.
Quick reminder, our next telecast, Friday the 26th. The doubleheader first game will be announced at 8:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Then the Rockets against the Jazz at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Skip Carey, John Andres will bring you the action in that second ball game. And Bill and I anxious to find out where we'll be. But right now, we're at the Richfield Coliseum as the Cavaliers are surprising the Celtics again with Larry Bird, if you just joined us, out with a sore elbow and a turnover for the Cavaliers. The Celtics have run off 14-3 against the Cavaliers since being down 55-41 late in the second quarter. They have a chance to cut it to only a 1-point Cav lead. We have 8:15 to go here in the third quarter. Dennis Johnson cuts it to 1. He's got 14.
I don't think the man in guarding was expecting to shoot that one.
Free. Henson kept it alive. Free, who's 17 first half points, set a Cavalier playoff record. And now the Cavs can't get a basket to drop in. They got back well that time. Dennis Johnson wisely pulled it out. Free comes up with the steal. Foul. Johnson backcourt. Could be costly. 4 against Dennis now. So he joins Robert Parrish with 4 fouls.
There's the loose ball there, and there's the foul. He might have let that one go, but he's such a competitor. That was not possible. That was not in his thinking at all.
Cleveland only 1 for 6 shooting in the third quarter. The Celtics are 5 for 7. Nice move by Free. He's got 19. The Cavs back up by 3. 7:20 to go, third quarter. Shelton battling with McHale inside. A foul will be on Shelton. Mo McCone with the tie, shaking his head in disbelief. The assistant to George Carl. That's Gene Littles on the left part of your screen, the other assistant coach. 3 team fouls against the Celtics, 2 against the Cavs. 3 seconds against Kevin McHale.
Now he's getting to a shoving match with Ronnie Shelton, and that is a no-win.
Well, he may be shoving, but I don't know how far Lonnie's moving. Free, isolated against Dennis Johnson. Now Shelton with the post up. Oh, he got Kevin in the paratrooper club, and they lost it out of bounds. Now, with Kevin with 3 fouls, he might have wanted to initiate some contact and have drawn that foul against Kevin. I can guarantee you Kevin would have done that.
Yes.
Cleveland with 14
but he picked up
turnovers.
the score, Rick.
There's that good ball movement by the Celtics. Shot clock is down to 7. Bagley. That was traveling against Hubbard. That was a good pass on the part of Free also, but Hubbard moved both feet in his anxiety to take it to the basket.
Well, both teams are making a lot of fundamental mistakes or mental errors, and that's just playoff time brings that out in the best of us.
See the foul trouble, and the players in foul trouble. Cleveland has 15 turnovers now after that last traveling violation. Celtics with 13. Henson up high for the rebound. He's one of those players that rebounds above the rim, though. Bagley from 3. That's Bagley's first 2 points of the ball game. He had 10 assists in the first half, but he really has not looked to shoot the ball that frequently.
Well, he only
took 3 shots in the first half.
He did a good job to run the offense for the first half. And sometimes the shots don't come, especially when your team is playing well.
5:50 to go here in the third quarter. 5-point lead now for the Cavs. Parrish. Hinton again on the rebound. The Celtics have cut the 10-point lead to 1. Now they're back up to a 5-point deficit. McHale off the free miss. Danny Ainge wide open. No one screening off the Celtics, and Wedman had an easy time of it. A breakdown defensively. Wedman with 18 points.
Well, the defense never got a chance to set up because they were really off a fast break. That was not the best shot you get off a fast break if you got the ball.
Cavaliers lead cut to 3. Hubbard battling inside with Wedman. He's got a height differential there and an advantage. He just plows into Wedman. No foul. Casey Jones wanted the call. He didn't get it.
No, what he called was Wedman fell away. You got to take the beating to get the foul.
Hubbard has 8 points. The Cavs lead by 5. 4:50 to go, third quarter. Not even close by Parrish. Bagley. Last touch by McHale, I think. Yes, it's going to be Cav ball.
There are a lot of situations in playoff time and in World Series and Super Bowl time. The attention diminishes the skill. And the game are filled with much more attention, but in most cases a little less skill than a normal game.
We saw Maxwell coming into the ball game for the Celtics. Free. Knocks it in, and he threw that leg out and kicked Ainge with it, but he didn't get the foul, but he'll take the basket. He's got 21. Cavs back up to a 7-point lead at the 4:20 mark, third quarter. Ainge, who's had difficulty from the outside, continues with his troubles. Shelton with the rebound. Here comes World. Good defense by Dennis Johnson to shut it off. Hubbard inside, had position on Wedman, and Wedman is called for the foul. That'll be the 4th team foul against the Celtics. Wedman's second personal.
And what the Cavaliers are doing, here's a good shot at it. A good push. Get the second push all the time.
Ray Williams in for Ainge. Ainge to the bench. Again, having that difficulty with his shooting in this ball game. Shelton didn't even have to jump for that one as McHale mistimed it. McHale gets the block, but they spot a foul from behind on Scott Wedman, I believe. That's Scott's third foul.
Nunez is right there. Now here's take a look at it.
Boom, in the head. And a bad break for the Celtics as McHale was there for the good defensive effort.
He was a little upset because he didn't, when you hear the whistle, he knew he didn't touch the guy.
Lonnie Shelton looking for his 9th point of the game, and he finds it. And Boston Celtics, Casey Jones has decided on the timeout. His team, after cutting the 10-point lead at the half to 1, they're trailing again by 8. 3:51 to go, third quarter.
Okay, guys, you're on your own. Ready? Ready as I'll ever be.
Tonight is kind of special.
Whoa! Last one down by the lower brow.
Beer will pour. Must say something more somehow.
So tell me, were you scared?
No.
Tonight.
Me too.
Every day, more and more of America's most demanding companies are choosing Royal Copiers. Companies like Bank America, General Electric, and ITT. Because Royal Copiers are built tough to deliver day in, day out reliability. And they're backed by strong nationwide service and one of the most flexible pricing policies in the business. You're tough, we're tough. We have to be. Our pride demands it. Royal Copiers.
Oh, my arm.
Rub something on it.
I got Ben Gay. I don't want to go back to work smelling like Ben Gay.
Don't. Try Sports Cream. It smells nice and clean.
Does it work?
Sports Cream has a strong, clinically tested pain reliever. It starts to penetrate immediately to relieve sore muscle pain.
No workout today?
Sure. I feel great. Why?
You, usually smell like Ben Gay.
Not anymore.
Sports Cream, the fast-acting pain reliever that smells great.
Rick Barry back with Bill Russell. Cleveland's backcourt has outscored Boston 23-4. In game one, it was 47-27 in favor of the Cavs. Game two, 43-18. So that's not a real surprise. Lonnie Shelton, a 10-2 Cleveland run has given them a 9-point lead. They led by 10, had it cut to 1, and now they're up again by 9. We've got 3:45 to go in the third quarter. Johnson, that was good defense inside. Hinton made him change it. Last touch by Wedman. It'll be Cav ball.
Missed another easy shot, which he usually doesn't miss.
Well, Dennis Johnson had a good drive, but Hinton with a good defensive effort made Dennis have to get it up a little bit higher, and he wasn't able to get it to drop. 3:30 to go, third quarter. The Cavs trying to go up by 11. 3 seconds, Hinton.
Well, he went in and got established position right away. And they took the ball out to 3. He would have to give him the ball right away, but he hesitated.
And they had a mismatch because Dennis Johnson had to switch off. Hinton had set a screen, and he had Hinton inside.
And 4 fouls on Dennis. There wasn't much he couldn't push him.
Wide open. Cedric Maxwell was under the basket. They didn't see him. Again, Hinton is there to block the shot by Dennis Johnson. And he couldn't save it. Roy Hinton, I think, Bill, has made quite an impression on the basketball fans throughout the country in this playoff series. Here he is again with beautiful timing to keep it alive. But he last touched it out of bounds. Celtic ball. 5 seconds on the shot clock. 3. Air ball by DJ. 17, that's Bagley. Hinton was up there. Wedman with the rebound. Ray Williams.
That's what he hasn't been doing tonight. This is the first time I think he's looked for a shot.
First 2 points of the game for Ray Williams.
He's got to look at those shots because he's a good shooter.
You see it, 7-point lead for the Cavaliers. 2:20 to go. 3-pointer free, not a chance. Not a good shot, I don't think, in that situation. Boston has only hit 2 of their last 13 attempts as Williams loses it out of bounds. And they're going to give it back to the Cavs, and he wanted a foul, as you can see. They felt he got grabbed. Poquette and Davis into the game for the Cavs, and Buckner into the game for Johnson for Celtics. There he lost it.
Johnson's playing long minutes here.
He was grabbed outside. The foul could have been called outside, but he actually had lost the ball off of his own hand out of bounds. So it kind of one washes the other. Celtics deserve to have the ball. Shot clock down inside of 10. It's down now to 6. Poquette. Johnny Davis on the left. Bagley didn't see him, but he drew the foul.
I think it's
4 fouls on Scott Wedman now. The Cavs only have 2 fouls in this period. They have 1 to give in the last 2 minutes of this quarter. We have 1:52 to go in the quarter. Chance for Bagley to increase the lead up to 9 points as Robert Parrish will be reporting in. And again, the free throws not working here. Bagley has 13 assists now, as you can see. Eight-point lead for the Cavaliers. 1:50 to go, third quarter. Ray Williams to Parrish.
Good pass. Good penetration.
12 for Robert Parrish. 6-point lead. Bagley quickly down the other end, draws the foul against Quinn Buckner.
You got to stop the ball. You can't let the guy pressure like that. You got to stop before he gets to the hoop and make him do something. Now he gets back Quinn Buckner right here, and he keeps going right to the basket. There's the foul right there.
Well, he did 2 real good things in that move, Bill. He made a good crossover move because he had Buckner leaning to the left to get the half a step, and then he used his body control to lean back as Buckner went past him, and he drew the body contact. So Bagley with 2 good moves to get to the free throw line. He now has 5 points in the ball game, and the Cavaliers lead by 8 with 1:30 to go in the third quarter. Good pressure by the Cavs. That's Shelton battling inside with McHale at the top of your screen. Shot clock is at 6. From 16 feet, Ray Williams. Finally doing what we told him to do early.
Kevin McHale inside-outside, and he should be able to get that free throw. And that's what he's got to look for. They've got to make that shot if they're going to get back in this game. If they're going to.
Pinson inside over Maxwell. 15 for Pinson. Cavaliers trying to win a game against Boston. They haven't done it in 17 consecutive tries. Henson now will draw his 4th personal foul. Turpin is into the ball game for Henson, and just a few seconds too late, though. And so that takes care of the 1 foul that they had to use in the last 2 minutes. .46 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter.
Things go bad.
Yes,
they go bad.
First try at the free throw line for Robert Parrish in this ball game. He's got 13 points now. Cavaliers have that 7-point lead. Cavaliers, if they took a quick shot, would get 2 shots to the Celtics 1, but they seem to be taking their time. Shelton.
Good move. They 17 and left him.
Yeah, Williams and Davis crashed.
They should have switched. They didn't make a good switch.
Well, I think that Williams got tied up with Davis, and they hit the deck. And then no switch by the big man on that screen, and Shelton converted. Self playing for the last shot.
They're trying to see if they can work that illegal defense.
Williams going a little early. Poquette with the block. Here comes Davis. On the right, he's got Bagley, and it's a foul by Buckner. Big play by Ben Poquette as Ray Williams, Bill, went in too early. They could have run it down to 2 seconds on the clock, shot it, and that would have been the end of the quarter. There you see him go inside.
There comes Johnny Davis, and there's the foul with Ben Buckner.
So in his anxiety to get the 2 points for the Celtics, Ray Williams is giving the Cavaliers a chance to get it back up to that 10-point lead, and Davis has done it. 11 seconds to go. The Celtics will get the last opportunity. And the Cavaliers have made up 9 points that they gave away early when the Celtics had cut it to 1. We have 5 seconds. 4, 2. Williams throws it away. And the Celtics do not get an opportunity on their last 2 trips down the court. And at the end of 3 quarters, the Cavaliers still have a 10-point lead.
Every day, more and more of America's most demanding companies are choosing Royal Copiers. Companies like Bank America, General Electric, and ITT, because Royal Copiers are built tough to deliver day in, day out reliability. And they're backed by strong nationwide service and one of the most flexible pricing policies in the business. You're tough, we're tough. We have to be. Our pride demands it. Royal Copiers.
Slow tap. They might have a play here. They got him.
Question: do Skip Carey and Ernie Johnson ever talk about anything but Braves baseball?
Sure, we talk about hockey and basketball, tennis and boxing and football. I bet you wonder how we keep up with all that, huh? CNN Headline News. Everything you want to know about sports. Hey, now, wait a minute. Every half hour at 20 minutes past the hour and 10 minutes before the next hour, see the latest sports results with CNN Headline News. Everybody can keep up with sports around the clock. You're going to talk us out of a job. Look for Headline News on your cable system or call your cable operator to get it.
Wednesday, they were the mighty loggers of mountain timber and a threat to the ranchers.
Let that tree alone.
The mountain became a battlefield and a struggle for survival. Alan Ladd stars in Guns of the Timberlands, 8:05 p.m. Eastern on Superstation WTBS Wednesday.
Remember that coming up right after the game tonight, it'll be America's team, the Braves, going up against the Padres. It'll be at 10:05 p.m. Eastern time, or right after this ball game. I don't know why we have that in there, but of course Rick Mailer is on the mound going for the Braves, going for his 4th victory. He has not lost yet, and of course, boy, Dale Murphy is just tearing up the National League, isn't he? He's just knocking it all over the place, and we'll see how he does as we look at the men in scoreboard. Denver leading San Antonio by 8 in the 2nd period, with that series tied 1-1, and Denver has not won in San Antonio, I think, in almost 3 years. And of course, Friday night, NBA action, the Super Shootout will continue playoff action here on the Superstation. First game to be announced, 8:05 Eastern time. Bill and I will bring you the action in game that happens to be, followed by the Rockets and the Jazz. Skip Carey, John Andres bringing you all of the action in that playoff confrontation. But
So
right
far
now,
tonight,
the Celtics...
I don't think that the Celtics have been able to put the combination that's tricks enough for them to catch up. Unless there's a miracle, they're going to have a hard time catching up because the Cavaliers are playing outstanding ball when you consider circumstances. They come in, they got a team that's going to be working a little extra hard to try to keep them getting embarrassed. And they got the lead, and they're making the shots that they have to make. Now the Celtics are going to have to play good defense if they're going to get back into it. They have to make a higher percentage of their shots, and they have to get inside or make it.
Well, I did it right there. Scott Webben hitting the first shot to cut it to 6 to 8 point lead. Robert Parrish cut it to a 6 point lead. We got 11:05 to go in the ball game. Good cut by Bagley. Blocked Parrish. He did have his hand in the net, and they missed it. That would have been goaltending had they seen it. To Maxwell. Foul, Shelton.
And the Celtics, if he makes these 2 free throws, they run off quick 6. Just when you get ready to count them out.
I wasn't counting them out. You were the one.
That's what I mean.
That's your old team, and you were counting them out. They won't be happy about that, Bill.
Well, they've been playing out of sync as far as I can see. And I think with the changes that Coach Carl's making with Freeback in there, because he gives them an emotional lift as well as a good outside shooting.
Maxwell cuts it to a 5-point deficit for the Celtics. Danny Ainge is in the ball game again for the Celtics. It's Poquet, Turpin, Davis, 3, and Shelton for the Cavaliers. Johnson, Ainge, Wedman, Parrish, and Maxwell for the Celtics.
Now, there's 2 teams now. Right now, Cleveland is playing to get ready for the stretch, and the Celtics have to be trying to catch up. Steps.
Well, they call traveling, and I don't know if he really moved his pivot. Ben didn't think so, but the official did, and that's all that really matters. Another turnover for Cleveland now. They have 17 in the game. Chance for the Celtics to cut it quickly to 2. Ainge tracks it down. Wedman cuts it to 2 points. And quickly, George Karl has called a timeout with 10:17 to go here in the ball game. The Cavaliers' 10-point lead has been cut to only 2 as the Celtics have run off 8 straight.
Say goodbye to America's favorite can of motor oil. That Quaker State quality America has trusted for over 70 years now comes exclusively in this unique, easy-to-pour plastic bottle.
So long, spouts. See you, dirty hands.
Goodbye, oily rags.
No more leaky cans.
Get Quaker State's pen-grade protection and no mess, easy to open, pour, and reseal. Today, you need an oil this good in a package this good.
The Honda Accord 4-door sedan, the standard by which other cars in this class are judged. When we made power windows, AM/FM stereo, and air conditioning standard, we made the Accord LX 4-door. Then we added leather seats, fuel injection, a power moonroof, and created the Accord SEI. You see, at Honda, we keep raising the standard.
I was drowning. Nothing could save me. My children. How would they get along without me? So much more to do.
Breathing, her pulse is back. She's gonna be okay.
I got a second chance. To do all those things I always meant to do.
At Prudential, we know most of us don't get a second chance. Talk to a Prudential agent and get the peace of mind that comes with a piece of the rock.
We're all right now.
Get a piece of the rock.
Prudential Life Insurance.
Rick Barry back with Bill Russell, and this entire series, all 3 games, has been a roller coaster ride for these teams, with one team going out ahead, the other team fighting back to take the lead, and then the other team coming back. It's happened here again tonight. The Celtics now have cut a 10-point Cavalier lead down to only 2. 10 minutes to go in the game. Mel Turpin, who's into the ball game.
We got good first about Johnny Davis. Now the Celtics have got to play even for at least 5 or 6 minutes.
Offensive foul, Wedman, that'll be 5. Shelton with good defensive position. Now, how many times, Bill, have you seen a team that's been trailing continue to make runs and never seem to get over the hump? And sometimes you can make your run a little bit too early, giving the other team plenty of time to get back their momentum. Shelton quickly gives it back to the Cavs. They're up to 6 points now ahead of the Celtics at the 9:30 mark.
When you're behind by 10, 12 points, you can't make the run too early. You got to make it when the opportunity's there. But then you got to settle down and keep different, make another run on you. You got to play even for a little while.
Maxwell over Turpin. Now Turpin with the foul on the rebound by Max. Second foul on Mel. That's a second Cavalier foul. Celtics have none. 9:15 to go in the ball game. Cavaliers leading the Celtics 80-74. Larry Bird, if you just joined us, has not played the entire ball game. He's back at the hotel with that sore right elbow. Parrish calls it in. Robert Parrish now with 17 points. A 20-second timeout being called by the Cavaliers. Davis was hitting.
Now what the Cavaliers have to do now is get the ball inside. They got to get penetration. Now they could either get Johnny Davis or Lloyd Free making penetration, passing it off, but they don't want to come down and start shooting the outside shot. They may make a couple, but here's a good shot by Robert Parrish.
Yeah, but what happened with Johnny Davis in the right part of the screen, his own teammate Shelton caught him with the left elbow right high in the cheekbone, split it open, I think, and trainer Gary Briggs working on him on the bench, probably put a butterfly or something on it, but he's actually staying there because Bagley's into the game.
Now they want to get a good shot. Now Bagley's been running the offense pretty well this game.
See the foul trouble. Wedman leading the way with 5 for Boston and 5 for West for the Cavaliers.
No, great shot.
That's it. 23 for Lloyd Free. Back to a 6-point Cav lead. 8:30 to go in the game. McHale back in for the Celtics. Tipped away by Turpin.
They've got pretty good action out of the rookie Mel Turpin tonight.
He's played well in his roll off the bench in this entire series. Parrish with the air ball, kept alive by Scotty Wedman. 24-second violation. The ball never touched anything. Again, we said air ball by Parrish. The 24-second clock continued to go, and Wedman didn't get it off in time. And look at what the Celtics are doing on the breaks. They just don't have the running game going tonight. Only 7 chances. They had that at the half, so they haven't had a break yet here in the second half. The Cavs, meanwhile, with a 12-point advantage on their break opportunities.
The safety of a player.
Coming up on 8 minutes to go in the ball game. Cavaliers with a 6-point lead. McHale with a super block against Free.
Because he made him hesitate and try to wait for him to come down.
Coquette foul after the shot. He just knocked Wedman completely off of his feet in his effort to block that shot. Scotty now just getting himself back together.
And all McHale did was keep his hands up. They both jumped. When he came down, he just held his hands up. Let's see. Now here's Scott Weber. Here's a shot after the foul. Oh, there goes the camera with the ball. And Weir going over with the shooter.
Wedman has 22 points and 6 rebounds. He's also playing with 5 fouls. He has done, I feel, Bill, yeoman's work filling in for Larry Bird. You couldn't ask more of Scott Wedman, but as you said, the backcourt really has not been able to pick up a lot of the slack. Scotty Wedman with tough loss at the free throw line. He's usually a very good free throw shooter. Turpin with an air ball. Wedman with another rebound. Celtics a chance to cut it to 4 points. Parrish will get to the free throw line. That foul is going to be on Lonnie Shelton.
Lonnie says, we'll see if you can shoot nail to the floor.
No, they called it on Lloyd Free coming in. Shelton banged him from behind and Free reached in.
World beat
Free. See, I made the mistake, too. It's contagious.
I don't.
I apologize, World. So I'll have to get mine in. Timeout on the court. 7:22 in the ball game. The Celtics trimming that Cav lead to 6.
I don't compete anymore, but I still pump iron. So after lifting a few hundred pounds, it's nice to lift one of these. Light beer from Miller. Light tastes great, and it's less filling with a third less calories than the regular beer. Now, you know, bodybuilding is hard work, but having a great body has its advantages. Sure makes it easy to pick up guys. Hi, Rodney.
Well, hi there. What's going on here? Hey, honey, how about a lift home, huh?
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
When you drive a tough Ford truck, there's one place you'll want to be.
On the road again. My Ford truck and me on the road again. Work or play, there can't be any tougher friend. I can't wait to get on the road again. On the road again. Just can't wait to see what's around the bend. When you drive a Ford, you're driving with a friend. My Ford truck and me on the road again.
The new American business morning. Fasting, more fleeting, with time more precious. And UPS is there, meeting the challenge every business day. It's UPS Next Day Air, and that means getting it there. Keeping pace with morning deliveries to more people and more places than ever before.
UPS Next Day Air. Morning, morning, morning.
UPS Next Day Air, getting it there every business morning.
Getting it there.
Here. Free throws, you see Boston 18 for 23. Cleveland, remember, was 7 for 7 at the half, so they're only 5 for 10 here in the second half, and it's hurt them somewhat. Now, you talk about Shelton being a big fella. What he did to Davis, he hit him in the jaw. The doctors are working on it. They think it may be dislocated, and we don't know if he's going to be back.
And he's been shooting quite well.
7:15 to go in the ball game. The Celtics have been struggling all night without Larry Bird in the lineup. Knocked away by Shelton. That's Ains with it. Hinton, who just came back into the ball game, had to pick up Dennis Johnson underneath, and he picks up his 5th personal foul.
Let's see, take a look at him now. There's the pass. It's on the baseline. Got him up in the air.
Robert Parrish had set a screen on the weak side, as you saw World League 3 over there, and Hinton was forced to make the switch, and the Celtics made him pay for it. Dennis Johnson now with 15 points. Trying to cut it to only a 4-point Cav lead. 7:05 to go.
And now both teams for the next 4 minutes would really be happy to play even. I think both teams would. And now that one team make a big run at it.
Shot clock inside of 10. World D3 with 25 points. He's the leading scorer in the playoff series. Didn't shoot well in the first 2 games, only 39%, but he was shooting much better in this game, 7 for 10 in the first half. Let's see what the Celtics can do. Wedman, 24. Back to a 4-point Cav lead. Hinton.
Good shot.
17.
Well, he's great distance after he goes up there. It looks like going for a jump shot, but he always gets about 6 feet closer than you think he's going to.
There's one fellow that likes to go into the basket. Scotty Wedman on the 3-point line. 26 points for Scott Wedman. Back to a 4-point Cav lead. 5:55 to go in the game.
Scott Wedman's acquainted with these baskets. He played here for a couple of years. So he's taking advantage of that, I guess.
Celtics have won 7 straight games here at the Richfield Coliseum. Cavs hoping to put an end to that. They must to stay alive. Hinton again. Hinton with 19. Look at George Karl. It tells you how he feels. Remember the looks of desperation after the first 2 games in his face.
And Raquel gets one to ball. And they're exchanging baskets.
15 for Kevin, and as Bill said, they'd be happy to play even, and that's what they're doing so far. We're down to 5:10 to go.
Now, he didn't make that, but he got hit on the shot.
Coquette. 5 minutes to go. Celtics trying to cut it to 2.
And the Celtics are being very patient running their offense. They got back in the game. Now, if they were 10 or 12 points behind, it would be very difficult for them to play the deliberate, run the offense as well as they're running it because there'll be a sense of urgency.
Well, they ran those 8 points off right at the start of the 4th period to allow them to be able to play this tempo and keep in the ball game. Scott Wedman has lit it up here in the 4th period. 28 points. 2-point Cav lead. 4:40 to go in the game. Scotty had over 30 points in one of the games that Larry was out when he started for him late in the season, and 20 some odd in another. Hubbard.
Good pass off by, that's what I mean, it's good penetration. Get that ball inside, penetrate, and you get either 2 free throws or a layup.
Goaltending, Hinton. That was not a good shot by, that ball was going to be short, I think.
Yes, way short.
30 points for Scott Wedman. What more can you ask in a reserve starting role for the injured Larry Bird than what Scott Wedman has accomplished here tonight? Can the Celtics pull it out and end the Cavaliers' hopes here in this best-of-5 series, first round NBA playoffs? Dennis Johnson now will join the 5-foul club at the 3:56 mark.
Let's see if we can see that foul there.
Right there, slaps him on the forearm. That's only the first team foul against the Celtics. The Cavs are in the penalty. Celtics with a big advantage there. Oh, that's World B3. 27 points for World. 3:45 to go in the game. Back to a 4-point Cav lead.
And the foul's on Robert Parrish, I believe.
And he joins the 5-foul club.
That was Miller Bass foul. Because they're going down court, and they're going to bump each other's course.
Timeout, 3:41 to go.
Introducing the amazing Minolta Maxim, the world's easiest SLR, because it alone has built-in automatic focusing. Look, Maxim's autofocus lets you get perfect shots before others can even focus. Change lenses. Maxim again gets the shots that used to get away.
Only the human eye focuses faster.
Minolta Maxim.
Only from the mind of Minolta.
The Prelude. Some people like to drive it wide open.
And Bill, you talked about the teams playing even. Boston has made their last 5 field goal attempts. Cleveland has made 5 of their last 6. So they have been playing tight. It's that still same 4-point lead by the Cavaliers.
Now, the reason I say that last foul on Robert Parrish was ill-advised. You have to know which game is important. And the only game that's important is the one on the scoreboard. He's got 4 fouls. The guy pushes him. Do a little act, but go ahead down to your position. And maybe they'll call a foul on the other guy, but you don't get in the pushing match. That's a game within the game, and that's not important.
We have a lot of people in foul trouble for both ball clubs. Casey Jones, final instructions over there with Danny Ainge. Reminder that the baseball action is coming up next. The Braves and the Padres right after this exciting action with Rick Mailer going for win number 4. We'll have more playoff action on Friday. First game, 8:05 Eastern time. We'll announce that one when we know who the pairings will be. In the second game, the Rockets against the Jazz. And here's the score on the minute scoreboard. San Antonio trailing Denver by 9 at the half. 3:30 to go in the ball game. Henson keeps it alive, but Parrish controls. Celtics trying to cut it to a 2-point Cavalier advantage. 3:15 to go. Scott Scotty Wedman pushed by Hubbard. Look at the battle inside. Hinton and Parrish. Parrish goes right around Hinton, who's playing with 5 fouls. Both players with 5 fouls.
So that both are playing tentative defense.
Robert Parrish, 19 points. 2:55 to go in the ball game.
Now we go to the other end and see if we can take advantage of who.
Hinton has hit 3 from the outside here late in the 4th quarter. He's got 21. Back to a 4-point Cav lead. Casey Jones tells Dennis Johnson the play he wants. They want to go to Parrish again. Hinton makes him change the trajectory. Bagley. Blocked by McHale on Hubbard off of a great pass from 3. Big play for Kevin McHale. He does it so often. Bagley, he's got 3 in the left. Foul, Danny Ainge. That should be a 2-shot foul for House. No, they say it is not. He
was in front of him. See, that's only if you can reach it from behind. If you see his play, Danny Ainge got ahead, but let's see. Now there's
He grabbed him before he went past him. You're exactly right, Bill. Plus the fact there was another defender down the court as well. Now
let's take a look at that block by McHale. There's Hubbard, and there's the block right there.
Hubbard should have taken on the left. He had the basket to use as interference against McHale that time, and he took it to Kevin's strength.
And with the double teaming on...
This time, Hubbard gets McHale to lead his feet. Big basket for the Cavs. They lead by 6. 2 minutes to go in the game. Timeout.
This is Lisa Downey's 3rd birthday. Her family could have taken it anywhere, but they trusted Eckerd System 2 photo processing. They know the people at Eckerd are trained by Kodak and use only Kodak quality chemicals and papers. And Eckerd System 2 photo processing gives you twice the prints, twice the film, and twice the guarantee. Lisa's family could have taken her birthday anywhere, but they chose System 2 from Eckerd for quality photo processing. After all, Lisa will only turn 3 once.
The watch to watch is Loris. It's dependable technology with a flair all its own. Loris style. It's right day or night, on the town or on the job. Loris value. It keeps you ahead at a price that won't set you back. Loris Forgiving. It's quartz watches and clocks for everyone. Just $14.95 to $59.95. Fashionable, dependable Loris. It's everything except expensive.
Look at the Cavaliers in their huddle. George Karl and Mo McCone giving final instructions along with Gene Littles, the other assistant coach. Bill, what must the Celtics do to pull this one out?
You got to play the strong defense, make them get the long shot. I think they should double team and make Lloyd Free pass the ball off, and then make someone else shoot outside. Then when they go on the other end, they have got to get a good shot. Plus, they have to hit the offensive goal.
Sellout crowd in excess of 20,000. One of the noisiest buildings in the entire league when it has fans in it, and they have got the fans tonight. Cleveland has shot 7 for 10 from the outside in this quarter. And outside shooting has helped. Hinton battles inside with Parrish. McHale battles with Shelton. Unbelievable. Finally a foul called against Shelton. He and McHale were just hammering each other. Shelton.
There are a lot of guys in foul trouble tonight. You know, this is amazing. Here's a team that finished, started the season 1-2 on the first 21 games, and are playing great playoff basketball, I think. They lost the first 2 in Boston by 2 points, and in pretty good shape in this one.
Now they trail by 4 points, the Boston Celtics, as McHale has 17 points. Remember, the Cavs have been here before. In both of the games, they took the lead late in the 4th period, but the experience of the Celtics, they find some way to win. The great teams will do that. Hinton over Parrish. McHale with another big rebound for the Celtics. 1:30 to go. Plenty of time for the Celtics. Dennis Johnson. Heartbreak. Bagley blocked. Wedman. He's out of the ballgame. No basket. And Bagley is down. He's okay. it again. Well, it was a good screen off on the part of our official, Tommy Nunez. Our cameraman is right there.
He moved because he turned on the he had himself a good game tonight. Scotty Whitman did.
Great effort. A great effort, Ed. The Celtic organization, and I'm sure the fans are proud of that young man for the effort he put forth on behalf of Larry Bird, who is out with that injury to his elbow. It has been aggravated. Great job for Scott Wedman. He leads with 30 points, as you saw. Cedric Maxwell will come in for him. Al Bagley with 5 points and 17 assists in this basketball game. Ray Williams will also come in now for the Celtics.
And what Bagley has done in this game in particular, Coach Carl said that one of the troubles he had with Bagley throughout the season was that he would penetrate sometimes too often and get offensive fouls. And this time, this game, he's particularly ran the offense very well. That's why he's got so many assists. He's done a good job for him.
And that was the Celtics' first foul in the last 2 minutes. They'll be in the penalty from this point forward. The Cavs are already there. They lead by 5, 1:15 to go in the game. Williams came in for Ainge. The Celtics trying to go inside, I'm sure. Parrish against Pinson. Bagley knocked it away. Hubbard, 2-on-1. He's got 3 on the left. Foul, count it.
And that's Stanford will be free. And there's the foul. And that may be the name of that tune.
One foul on Williams. Ben Coquette has come into the ball game for Hubbard. George Karl congratulating Phil for the job that he did tonight. Danny Ainge tried to get in. The official asking for the ball back. Free has 8 assists to go along with those 29 points. Ainge is back in now.
The referee couldn't hear the horn. There's a lot of noise in this place.
Okay, Parrish went out when Ainge came in, so obviously the Celtics going to put some full court pressure against the Cavaliers with 59 seconds to go in the game.
And maybe they're going to go to the three-point shot.
Free with 30 points, and they have an 8-point lead. They'll go to the three-pointers and they'll put pressure on. There's the three-pointer by Williams. McHale. Knocked away by Shelton, but he'll draw the foul, and he will foul out.
Foul is on number 8. Ollie Shelton, that's his 6th personal foul.
Lonnie Shelton with a good effort off the bench for George Karl's Cleveland Cavaliers. Hubbard will come back in for him. McHale at the line, a chance to cut it to a 6-point lead for the Cavaliers with 51 seconds to go, and there's still plenty of time. McHale with 9 rebounds to go along with 17 points. And some very, very big defensive plays inside. Of course, he's the man that helped ice game number 1 with that great jump hook shot late in the contest. Amazing how quickly 20-some-odd thousand people can quiet down. 19 points for Kevin McHale. There's the pressure by the Celtics, but it is not a full court, total all-out defense. Now they come for the half-court trapping. McHale's not guarding anybody. This should be an illegal defensive warning. He wasn't guarding anybody. Shot clock ticking down to 7. They can use all the time. They don't need... At 3, Hinson lets it go. Back gets covered. Big offensive rebound. That's costly. They've got a foul. Hubbard will go to the line with 24 seconds left.
And that about did it. They let him get the offensive board. When they had, maybe they could have fouled earlier. And what you do, instead of just making a deliberate foul, you try to steal the ball. And you're not too careful about that.
Hubbard with 12 points in the ball game. Still hope for the Celtics. If he misses this 3-point basket, good defense, and another 3-pointer could tie it. Now that's stretching it a bit, but it still conceivably could happen. That hurts.
The first part of it.
That one hurts. McHale wide open underneath the basket. Coquette is there.
That's a quick basket. That's awful quick.
5-point lead, 19 seconds. Ainge fouls backcourt. 3 to the line. No reason to boo. That was not a dirty foul.
That was a good. You had it foul as soon as possible in 16 seconds, and hope that he misses one.
Who do you like for player of the game, Bill?
I like the guy at the foul line.
I do too. Besides, we owe it to him for screwing up his name so often.
See, I said the guy at the foul line, so I would make sure I didn't make that same mistake again.
Yeah. World, be free will be our player of the game as the Celtics take it, though, the 22nd timeout by the Celtics as Casey Jones goes over his final strategy, back up to a 6-point lead. And if he misses this free throw, the Celtics still have what we talked about, 2 3-point opportunities to try and get back in it. Make one, good defense, try and get a steal and come back with another. If Free makes this one, I would say that the hay is in the barn, as old Alex Hannum, my former coach, used to say, and the door is just about shut.
Or the chances of, if he makes this a chance to Slim and none, and Slim just got on the bus.
Right. And I say one thing, Bill, you must credit the Cavaliers. Not only did they play so well against the Celtics in the 2 games that Larry Bird was available when he scored 35-point average against them, 40 in one, 30 in another, but they did what they had to do. And sometimes it's difficult to go up against a ball club when their top player is out.
Sure is, because they're able to sustain a good all-around game for maybe a game and a half before they really start to miss what a guy like Larry Bird does for them.
Only a 2-pointer by Dennis Johnson. 11 seconds to go in the game. The Cavaliers are going to force game number 4 as we have a foul in the backcourt, and Hubbard will go to the free-throw line. George Karl now has a totally different look on his face.
A little bit relaxed. Now he's got to make these 2 free throws, though.
Isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing what the difference in the score can do to a coach? George Karl, who had such a dejected look. I mean, words really weren't sufficient to tell you what George Karl was suffering at the end of those 2 ball games. But he's a happy man tonight here at the Richfield Coliseum as his team has won a game against the Celtics. The first time they have beaten this team in the last 18 tries. It's been a long dry spell. Hubbard now with 15 points. The Celtics take a timeout with 9 seconds to go. They trail by 7 points.
The excitement of the NBA. Now you can get the NBA feeling. Be part of the action when you choose from this official NBA catalog. Over 60 different items are available for your favorite team. Authentic NBA game jerseys and shorts, warm-up jackets, pants, game balls, and socks. To get your catalog, send $1 credited to your first order to NBA Catalog, Box 800-800, Seattle, Washington, 98108. Every page is filled with official NBA licensed products, sweatshirts, sweatpants, and warm-up suits, T-shirts, and pullovers. Or choose the official jacket of the NBA from Starter Sportswear. And there's a great assortment of novelties, gifts, and toys, plus videotapes of great NBA action. Just send $1 today and get your NBA catalog. Send to NBA Catalog, Box 800-800, Seattle, Washington, 98108. Get this NBA exercise watch free with all orders over $50. Get the NBA feeling.
And you can get your NBA merchandise catalog by sending $1 to NBA Catalog, P.O. Box 800-800, Seattle, Washington, 98108. Your dollar will be credited towards that first purchase. That's NBA Catalog, P.O. Box 800-800, Seattle, Washington, 98108, and include $1. And, of course, we have the baseball game coming up right after this action with Rick Mailer going for win number 4 and the hot Dale Murphy. NBA action to continue here on the Superstation on Friday night. The first game will announce it. It will be at 8:05 p.m. Eastern Time. However, Bill and I to bring you that action. In the second game, Skip and John will bring you the action of the Rockets playing against the Jazz. The final 9 seconds. Should do it. The Cleveland Cavaliers have finally beaten the Boston Celtics after pressuring them and making them go to the limit in games 1 and 2. They have come through with a victory. Of course, Larry Bird did not play in this ball game, but it's still a valiant effort on the part of the Cavaliers as they win 105-98. We'll be back.
We're here at the 18th hole of this light beer open, and we've seen some real unusual shots today.
You said it.
Hey, Bob, I think you got a birdie.
Elsie, how am I supposed to hit it through this tree?
No problem, Bert.
How's Yuka going to get out of this one?
That calls for another light beer from Miller.
Make it 2, 3, 4.
It's a good thing light's less filling.
Back to you, Ricky.
John, the last player's approaching the tee.
And when it goes to 100, you sell. I won't be long, girls. Hold my calls, will you?
It hit the weather vane. It's in the drain. Here it comes out. It's going on the green. It's going in the hole.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
This open ought to be closed.
And our light beer and Turner Broadcasting most valuable player of the game is World B. Free. 32 points, 3 rebounds, 8 assists. Light beer from Miller is proud to present a check for $500 to the National Multiple Sclerosis Foundation on behalf of World B. Free. And Bill Russell, can the Cavaliers continue to surprise the basketball world and do it again Thursday night?
I think it's very possible they can do it, but it might depend a little bit on whether Larry Bird is able to play reasonably effective, because he finds a way to win a great deal, and with the way that Scotty Wedman played tonight, that could be real tough. But they definitely have a chance because they are playing real good, hard-nosed basketball.
We want to thank all of our crew here from the Richfield Coliseum. My wife Pam, my statistician Jim Stamos, and all of our producers, directors. I can't give all the names, but they've done a terrific job. Remember, Friday we have more NBA action. The first game, 8:05 Eastern Time, to be announced. The second game, the Rockets at the Jazz. And, of course, coming up here momentarily, the Braves and the Padres. We thank you for joining us. For Bill Russell, this is Rick Barry saying goodbye from the Richfield Coliseum, where the Cavaliers have won their first game against the Celtics in 17 tries. They trail 2-1 in the best-of-5 series. It was Cavs 105, the Celtics 98. Good night, everybody.
CBS Sports has presented America's Super Shootout, the NBA playoffs.